Yo, everybody, it's your boy Joseph here,
And Carlos,
and this is
the
The
passenger
Passenger
seat.
Seat. Ba-da-ba-da. Da-da. Ho, ho, ho. Da-ba-da-ba. All right, welcome back, riders, to another week in the passenger seat. Another video in our, str- I was going to say, string of December Christmas Eve videos.
It's the second one.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. We hope you liked our first video for this month, and now we're going to be diving into another sort of Christmas themed topic.
Yes, we're going to be talking about a movie from 2012. Hopefully, you guys remember it. It's called Rise of the Guardians, with
Oh
all
yeah,
the I guess favorite holiday icons.
yeah. I mean, if you don't remember, or you don't remember too well, Rise of the Guardians, just think about the Santa, like a picture of Santa where he's cross-armed and tattooed.
Well, yeah, I guess the most famous out of that would be Jack Frost. Like people always put like those pictures of Jack Frost and Elsa and stuff like that.
Oh yeah, that's right. Weird ship, but I mean, okay. All right, yeah. So we're just gonna talk a little bit about Rise of the Guardians, just a little overview, and yeah, we'll go on from there.
All right. Well, before we start with the movie, Rise of the Guardians is a book series. Actually, it's called The Guardians of Childhood. And it was created by an author named William Joyce, he actually was executive producer in this movie. And essentially, it's the stories of your basically what do you call them? Holiday
Mascots.
and sort of, yeah, like mascots is Santa Claus, the Easter Bunny, Jack Frost, Tooth Fairy, and Sandman. So that essentially started as a book, and they wanted to make it into a movie.
Yep. So Rise of the Guardians is a movie that came out in 2012, 3D animation, and it was a movie that was developed by DreamWorks, but it was produced by Paramount.
Yes, the last movie that was produced by Paramount, helping DreamWorks at least.
Yeah, exactly. So it was very interesting, right? The story itself. Carlos, if you want to go ahead and tell our writers about the story.
So, like we told you guys, it's based on all these entities of each holiday, and there's, I guess, what you would call the boogeyman, which is the villain of the story. Which the boogeyman is also sort of like an entity, because what kid hasn't heard of? Oh, the boogeyman's under your bed. Oh, go to sleep earlier. The boogeyman will get you.
Right.
So it's an entity in itself, and he wants to go ahead and take over the world once more, like it was in the Dark Ages. So the Guardians, which is at this point Santa, Tooth Fairy, Easter Bunny, and Sandman, but then they have to get help from a new Guardian that he didn't. They chose a new Guardian, and it was Jack Frost. So essentially, the story is about these Guardians trying to stop the Boogeyman, which is in this movie, his name is Pitch Black, from taking over the world and taking over children's hopes.
Right. So Pitch Black does a thing where he pretty much gives kids nightmares. And basically is trying to make them forget about the other holiday beings or mascots in this case.
Yes.
By removing things that are essential to each one of them. So like the Tooth Fairy has children's teeth, which all their memories are stored in, which is a very interesting way to see that dynamic.
It's an interesting concept, yeah.
Yeah, then we have the Easter Bunny with the Easter eggs, and things like that. And Pitch Black starts to take those things away, and kids start to forget about those, or stop believing in those, in those mascots. And it's a very interesting take. I think it's a very mature take because it sort of reflects on when we get older, how we start to, slowly stop to believe in these holiday mascots.
Yeah, definitely. I really love the concept. Is they have this Avenger-esque quality about it, where you have all these characters and they seem like they have powers. When they do have powers, but it seems like they're superheroes, but they're just like your holiday like these things you believed in as a child to come and like help you and like bring you things and like stuff like that. And I really love that concept. I watch this movie every year actually, but I guess like yeah, what you said basically like with Pitch Black taking away other stuff, one of the Pitch Black having the ability to give you nightmares. One of the first people that he has to take away in the movie is Sandman because Sandman is the polar opposite of him. He brings you good dreams.
Right.
So Sandman was the first one taken away. Sandman's one of those characters that for me is like sort of forget about Sandman. Maybe it was more of an American ideology thing
Mm.
because
Yeah.
I don't remember hearing about Sandman when I was a kid.
I mean, I remember some sort of references. I remember Powerpuff Girls, that creepy episode with the Sandman villain, things like that. But otherwise, Sandman isn't really like super huge, and fairy tales as a kid, or coming up with these holiday sort of mascots or themes of that sort.
It's
Um,
supposed to be if you wake up in the morning, you have crust in your eyes, and
mhm.
it's supposed to be the sand that Sandman left behind when he gave you good dreams.
Yeah, that much I know.
Yeah,
So yeah, another important part to talk about the plot is the fact that Jack Frost, he loves bringing snow days to kids, but he resents the fact that nobody believes in him. So no kids can actually see him.
yes, that's true. Because once you're believed in, people can see you. If people don't believe in you, you're invisible to them.
Right.
Well, kids mainly, because adults just stop believing in general.
Yes.
So this is sort of his story too. I guess he's the protagonist, if you want to say, because he's trying to find his way of why. Actually, we didn't bring this up. So there's a character that's the name the Man on the Moon, which basically, I guess, the Man on the Moon was the guy who created or gave the ability to all these people to become like the holidays and give hope for kids and stuff like that. So he's questioning the Man on the Moon of why he made him Jack Frost. What was his purpose? And the Man on the Moon never answers him. But of course, by the end of the movie, he figures it out.
Yeah, of course, the resolution. So moving along, from the plot, this movie has a really good cast.
Surprisingly, it does. Yeah.
Yeah, so we have our main character Jack Frost, who is actually voiced by Chris Pine. Um,
Yeah.
Very interesting, very interesting. We also have Jude Law, who does the voice of Pitch Black.
Yes, he does
Um,
very well too.
yeah, uh, you know, this name is sort of controversial at the moment with everything going on with the whole thing on the set of Rust. We're talking about Alec Baldwin, of course, and he
Yeah.
plays Santa.
Yeah.
Uh, or
Well,
in this case, is not Santa. His name's actually Nicholas Saint North,
they call him North in the movie. Yeah.
which is actually really cool. I like the names that each one of them get.
Yes.
Um, so
They're
we
not
have
called like that. Yeah.
yeah. So then we have Hugh Jackman, who's E. Aster Bunnyman, who's
Yes.
they just know him as Bunny.
He's the
Which
Easter Bunny. It's so funny.
no man, it's true because he uses his Australian accent.
Yeah. There's a point in the movie where Jack Frost is like, "What's up with the Easter kangaroo or something like that?" He's like, "I'm not a kangaroo, mate." And the whole time you're thinking like, "You sound like."
Right. um. So then you have Isla Fisher, who's Toothiana.
Yes,
They just
that's
they
true.
just call her Tooth. And then
Toothy.
right. Um, I don't know who voices the Sandman.
Sandman doesn't have a voice.
Oh, that's
Uh,
right. He projects
Sandman
like right.
communicates by these images made out of sand, but he actually doesn't have a voice because I guess like inside information, since he was the first creation from the Man on the Moon didn't perfect voices yet because Sandman is I think the only character who wasn't a human back then or wasn't a living creature back then. He was actually made out of sand.
Right. So yeah. This movie started production. Man, I think they had this idea maybe like in 2005, I believe. And then around 2008, Joyce sold the film rights to DreamWorks, and then obviously he agreed with DreamWorks to obviously work on this project. Interestingly enough, one of the executive producers of this movie is Guillermo del Toro.
I believe that.
Yeah,
That's very interesting, though it is. But I sort of feel like he loves that type of stuff.
yeah. He actually stated that he loved the fact that they were keeping it dark and moody and poetic. Which, yeah, I agree. I think a lot more movies, family movies, right, should be that. All of these family movies are generally happy, heartfelt, kind of, and that's nice, right? But we also sometimes it's very important to show the dark side of things to our kids in a beautiful and nice way, the way they did with this movie.
It is very interesting when you speak of like the dark stuff in this movie, and spoilers ahead or whatever you want to say. All these characters, as I mentioned before, they were real creatures and real human beings. And the way they became these characters and had their powers is all of them died. Actually, they died, and then they got brought back to life by the man on the moon and given these abilities. So it's a very interesting concept because that's very harsh for a kid knowing that like Jack Frost fell in the
In the
in the cold ice just to come back. Yeah, just to come back alive as
Mhm.
Jack Frost. It's a very interesting concept.
Yeah, so one of the most right tragic things about this movie is the fact that Joyce was working as one of the co-directors for this movie for the first couple of years, and sadly he left that position because of the death of his daughter, who died from a brain tumor. And I think and there was a song dedicated to her at the end of the movie, which is it just shows the emotion that was poured into making this movie. And I think that's other than being very sad, it's also what makes the movie beautiful.
Yeah, I agree. It's a very good movie, very well told.
Mm.
Um, One of DreamWorks' best, really. And I'm glad they didn't try to um, garner a lot of money off of it. I'm glad there's no sequels or anything like that. Like it should just remain how it is.
Right, even though there was talks about a sequel. Yeah, other than that, it did garner a couple of awards. The reception was pretty well met. I wouldn't say it blew any expectations out of the water. It's not like it got 10 out of 10s or anything like that, but it was overall a generally well received movie. Um, and yeah, I think it was really good as well.
I definitely agree. This movie for me, like I remember it since it came out. I remember seeing it in the movie theater, and I always thought it was super cool. I think that's because I'm really into superheroes.
Hmm.
But now I watch the movie every December. I have a rotation of movies I watch every December, and that's always one of them. But fortunately, if you guys want to see this movie, it there's nowhere where you can get it for in a subscription. You can only rent it. There's no place where it actually gives you it for free. So you can go on Amazon and rent it for like I don't know what $3.99 for like 5 days or something.
Oh, it does it do 5 days? I thought it was only like
Like
48 hours.
whatever
Either
it
way,
is.
yeah,
But
you can go
yeah,
rent it if you want to watch it.
if you guys want to check it out, please go check it out. Trust me, it's a good movie, especially like if you guys have kids and stuff like that. It's a good movie to watch for the holidays.
Yes, definitely.
I have to know, who's your favorite?
Man, I think I'm gonna honestly say probably Santa Claus.
Because of the tattoos.
Nicholas A. North. Yeah, he's so badass looking. I remember watching the movie and I was like, that is the coolest Santa I've ever seen portrayed in any movie.
Yeah.
Like,
What did it say? Naughty and nice.
yeah, naughty and nice, dude. That is such a crazy concept for the idea of Santa Claus, and I think that's really cool.
I
And
agree. I agree.
the fact that they do have powers just makes it even more awesome. Like it's Santa for not only for kids but for teens too, because it's just like it carries on throughout the years, the coolness level of it. What about you?
Definitely. It's funny enough because I don't care too much for the holiday, but I thought the Easter Bunny was just like so cool looking. And even
Yeah,
back then, I was like, man, he's really cool. And I don't know why they got this whole like Australian theme going on with him, but it just worked. He even
yeah.
threw boomerangs, which I was like, why is he throwing boomerangs?
Right, 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 right. Oh man. Well, yeah. So I think that pretty much wraps it up for today. Um, Go ahead and let us know down in the comments below who your favorite character was, or if you like this movie. Are you gonna watch it this year before the year ends?
They'll
And
definitely check it out.
yeah. As always, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. It'll help our channel out a lot. And we'd really appreciate it, of course. And yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this ride with us today, and hopefully you'll join us next time here in
The
the
passenger
passenger
seat.
seat.